Who were the early women philosophers and what were their contributions? An intriguing question, isn't it? Today we explore the intellectual prowess of ancient women philosophers. We journey back in time to meet Aspasia, the conversationalist from Athens, Clea, who harmonized numbers, Thecla with her ascetic Christian teachings, Sosipatra, an Egyptian advocate of virtue, Maria, a metaphysical explorer, and Hypatia, the mathematician from Alexandria. Join us on this enlightening journey into the past as we delve into the lives and philosophies of these extraordinary women. Let's begin with Aspasia, a remarkable woman from ancient Athens known for her intellect and contributions to rhetoric and philosophy. Her focus was on the art of persuasive speech and political discourse, a realm often dominated by men. Aspasia's intellect was not just recognized but sought after, her home becoming a hub for intellectual discussions, attracting many prominent Athenian figures, including Pericles. However, her position was not without controversy. As a foreigner and a woman in a male-dominated society, Aspasia faced criticism and was often a target of political attacks. Her influence, particularly on Pericles, raised eyebrows and invited scorn. Yet Aspasia held her ground, remaining undeterred by societal norms and biases. Her teachings on rhetoric and political discourse, though met with resistance, left an indelible mark on Athenian society. Despite the criticism, Aspasia's influence on rhetoric and philosophy remained significant. Next, we explore the teachings of Clea, a Pythagorean philosopher who delved into mathematics, mysticism, and ethics. Clea's philosophy was a fascinating fusion of the abstract and the concrete. She saw numbers not merely as tools for calculation, but as fundamental elements of the universe, keys to understanding the very fabric of existence. This perspective was a hallmark of Pythagoreanism, a philosophy that found harmony in numbers and geometric shapes. Yet, Clea's teachings were not accepted without skepticism. The secretive nature of Pythagorean societies and the mystical elements of their teachings often raised eyebrows. Critics questioned the validity of Clea's ideas, challenging the notion of numbers as mystical entities. But Clea remained undeterred, steadfastly advocating her belief in the harmony of numbers and their profound role in understanding the universe. Clea's teachings, although controversial, added a unique perspective to Pythagorean philosophy. Moving on, we have Thecla, a follower of the early Christian movement, known for her theological discussions. Thecla was not just a passive observer of her faith. She was an active participant, engaging in spirited debates and discussions about the tenets of Christianity. A key aspect of her philosophy was the emphasis on asceticism. She advocated for celibacy and spiritual discipline, arguing that these practices could lead to a deeper understanding of faith and a closer relationship with the divine. But not everyone agreed with Thecla's perspectives. Her unconventional views on celibacy and her resistance to marriage were met with resistance, sparking debates within early Christian communities. Some questioned whether her teachings were in line with mainstream Christian doctrines. Thecla's philosophy, though controversial, left a significant mark on early Christian asceticism. Her teachings challenged the status quo, prompting followers of Christianity to question, reflect, and engage more deeply with their faith. Thecla's teachings, though controversial, influenced early Christian asceticism. Let's now delve into the teachings of Sosipatra, an ancient Egyptian philosopher who explored the concept of virtue. Sosipatra contributed significantly to ethical philosophy, with her teachings encompassing the importance of moral character in leading a fulfilling life. She argued that virtue was not merely about following a set of rules, but rather, it was about cultivating an inner disposition towards goodness and righteousness. For Sosipatra, a virtuous life was one in which actions were guided by wisdom and goodwill, and where one continually strived for moral excellence. Yet, as with many pioneers, Sosipatra's ideas were not without controversy. Traditionalists challenged the influence of Egyptian philosophy in the broader discourse, questioning its relevance and applicability. Furthermore, her emphasis on virtue sparked debates about the cultural relativism of ethical values, questioning whether moral virtues were universal or culturally specific. Despite these challenges, Sosipatra's emphasis on virtue added depth to the discourse on ethical philosophy. Finally, we discuss Maria and Hypatia, two renowned Neoplatonist philosophers who delved into metaphysics and the nature of reality. Maria, a woman of profound intellect, explored the metaphysical concept of the One, the ultimate reality beyond our physical world. She posited that everything in existence is interconnected, a single manifestation of this ultimate One. Her teachings, however, were not without opposition. Rival philosophical schools challenged her abstract concepts, questioning their relevance to the practical aspects of life. Yet Maria stood firm, her ideas resonating with those who sought to understand the world beyond its physical boundaries. Hypatia, another luminary in the Neoplatonist school, was not just a philosopher, but also a mathematician and astronomer of great repute in ancient Alexandria. Her intellectual prowess was unparalleled, her influence far-reaching. However, Hypatia's association with paganism and her prominence in intellectual circles led to conflicts with religious authorities. The societal tensions of her time escalated to a tragic climax. Hypatia was brutally murdered, a victim of the political and religious strife that gripped Alexandria. Despite the opposition, Maria's and Hypatia's contributions to Neoplatonic philosophy remain influential. Their courage to challenge conventional thought, their relentless pursuit of knowledge, and their enduring ideas continue to inspire countless generations. They remind us that philosophy is not just the love of wisdom, but the courage to seek it, even in the face of adversity. These early women philosophers, though often overlooked, made significant contributions to philosophical thought. From Aspasia's artful rhetoric and political discourse in ancient Athens to Clea's harmonious exploration of mystical mathematics. From Thecla's asceticism and spiritual discipline in early Christianity to Sosopatra's ethical philosophy, rooted in the concept of virtue. From Maria's metaphysical musings on the interconnectedness of existence to Hypatia's groundbreaking work in mathematics, astronomy, and Neoplatonism. Each of these women, despite facing criticism, skepticism, and even violent opposition, shaped intellectual thought in profound ways. They dared to question, to explore, and to share their insights in societies that often sought to silence them. Their stories serve as powerful reminders of the importance of acknowledging and studying the contributions of women in philosophy. Their stories remind us that philosophy, like any field of study, is enriched by diverse voices and perspectives. So let's continue exploring and appreciating these voices from our past.